All right, we're down to the last portion of this day, and Todd is going to join me on the stage.
Getting my notes in order here. So, one of the great things about business days at the Capitol every year is that we've got such a great collection of candidates and legislators. We have candidates running for statewide office here today. We've got legislators. We have the lieutenant governor. It's probably one of the premier networking sort of events of the year here in Helena. And so we heard a lot of talk today about issues that affect the business community that are being routed through the judiciary. And I think if there's never been a call to pay more attention as a business community to what happens and who is seeking to represent us in both district court and at the Supreme Court, I think that call is louder today than it ever has been. You're fortunate that we have 4 candidates for the Montana Supreme Court that are with us today, and they're going to join us this evening in the reception across the way. And so I want to introduce them as kind of a quick introduction and to kick off this year, underscoring the importance of the Montana Supreme Court races. And so if each one of you would stand and wave your hands so we can put faces with names, I will introduce and give a quick background about each one of you in no particular order. Corey Swanson. Where's Corey? Thank you, Corey. Corey has served as the Broadwater County Attorney since 2014. He is an Iraq War veteran and a colonel in the Montana Army National Guard. He is running for the open seat as Chief Justice. Judge Jerry Lynch has served 28 years as a federal magistrate judge for the U.S. District Court for the District of Montana. Judge Lynch is also running for the Chief Justice. Judge Catherine Bidigary has served 21 years, there she is, as State District Court Judge for Dawson, Macomb, Prairie, Richland, and Webo counties. She's running for the open Associate Justice seat. Judge Dan Wilson. Where's Dan? Here we are, over here on the other side. Has served for 12 years as a State District Court Judge for Flathead County. He is also running for the open Associate Justice seat. So there could be more candidates that enter this race. The 4 that are announced are with us today. I think it's important for them to hear from you as business leaders, and they're going to be joining us next door again when we get in the reception area. So thank you all for being here. It's important to have you here mingling with the business community. So as you know, we've had one of the most successful legislative sessions in the history of the Montana Chamber of Commerce. In 2021, we introduced and brought forward 4 bills, and all 4 bills were signed into law, and we thought we were just killing it, right? This was a great year. This year, we brought forward 10 bills, 9 of which made it through the legislative process, and then the governor signed those 9 bills. And so last year was, 2023 was an incredible year. The year before that was a great year, and we're looking forward to having an even better year in 2025. But none of that is possible unless we have legislators that are aligned, who are open to what we as a business community say, that listen to us and seek our input and our advice, recognizing that not every business has the time or the bandwidth to be able to make it to Helena during the legislative session. They're busy running their own businesses, and so they look to organizations like the Montana Chamber of Commerce to represent their business interests. And so in order for us to be successful in any legislative session, we have to have those legislators that are willing to listen to us and work with us and solve some of the problems that are most pressing to the business community. So we grade our legislators based upon how well they align with what our priorities are and supportive of our issues. And so at the end of every legislative session, we recognize what we call champions of business. And in October, at our annual meeting in Billings, we recognize the champions of business that were legislators that were available to join us there in Billings in October. We're here in Helena, and we think that there's another opportunity to address or to introduce and recognize some of those that were able to join us in Billings and some of that weren't able to join us. And we want to make sure that we recognize those legislators that we believe are tightly aligned with the best interests of the Montana business community. And so as we evaluate legislators, we evaluated them on their support of our priority bills, making sure that they were aligned and voted in support of the bills that we had identified as priority bills, and didn't sponsor any significant piece of legislation that we thought were particularly harmful for the business community. But before we go down the road of recognizing our champions of business in the legislative arena, I think I'd like to turn it over to the chair of the Montana Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, Nancy Schlepp.
All right, we do have one special award today before we get to our legislators, and this award is for Lieutenant Governor Kristen Juras, who is a fourth-generation Montanan who grew up on her family's ranch near Conrad. In November 2020, she became the second female lieutenant governor of Montana in the state's history. It has been said that Lieutenant Governor Juras broke the traditional mold of the office of lieutenant governor, making it substantive instead of ceremonial. It's no surprise that Governor Gianforte tapped her to lead the Red Tape Relief Task Force to identify burdensome, outdated, and unnecessary regulations that needed to be reformed. In the next legislative session, 188 red tape bills were introduced in the 68th legislative session. Taken together, these bills simplified and modernized state code, made government more efficient, and created greater opportunities for all Montanans. So it is our honor to recognize and award Lieutenant Governor Kristen Juras with the Red Tape Elimination Award.
Thank you. Well, I can't accept this on my own. There was an excellent team behind me across our agencies, and I think the most rewarding thing about this effort was that they got behind it. They got engaged. They were empowered. And there's actually a contest going on between the agencies as to who is going to cut the most red tape. I'm happy to announce that basically over the last 18 months, we've either eliminated or amended 15% of the regulations that we have jurisdiction over. And as you mentioned, we had great success. Thank you, legislators. But who would have thought that they loved the Board of County Printing so much that that was one we didn't get to cut? But we'll be back. Thank you very much.
Okay. Recognizing our champions of business, please hold your applause because we've got a really good long list. And I'll just ask each of the legislators as we name you, just come up here and just line up here on the stage, and then we'll get some photos and give you the sort of recognition that you deserve, not only for being a champion of business, but also for putting your name on the line and serving the state of Montana, and that in and of itself is worth our recognition. So, our champions of business, Representative Fred Anderson, Senator Becky Beard. Are we coming? They didn't make it. Representative James Bergstrom. Are we getting close? Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Representative Marta Pertoglio. And I know I butchered that, Marta. I apologize. Senator Ken Bogner. Representative Tony Brockman. Representative Ed Buttrey. Senator Mike Cuff. Representative Julie Dooling. Representative Ross Fitzgerald. Representative Gary Perry. Senator Russ Temple. Senator Bruce Gillespie. Representative Jane Gillette. Representative Paul Green. Representative Denley Logie. Representative Josh Kashmeyer. Representative Russ Minor. Bunch up a little like you know each other. Representative Linda Rexton, sorry. Senator Dan Solomon, I didn't see Dan. Representative Carrie Seekins Crow. Senator Jason Small. Marta, I butchered your name, but wait till you hear me try to run this one through. You all know, we know him better as Nico. Right? And I tried to spell this out phonetically, and I don't think that's going to help me, but I'm going to try it. Representative George Nikolakakis. Nico, how about that? We'll just go with Nico. Representative Wayne Rusk. These are folks that voted with us 100% on our priority bills and didn't sponsor any significant anti-business legislation. Oh, I need names, Sheridan.
Representative Walsh and Representative Lear.
Oh, we've got some. Representative Brandon Lear, Representative Ken Walsh. Please join us up here.
They're in the booklet outside, but we're trying to catch all of you as you got up.
Yeah, I apologize. We're trying to catch y'all as you were coming in, and so I'll wait for them to get up here. The rest of our champions of business you can find on our website, because not everyone was able to be here. And so we did our best to catch folks as they came in. But this is your pro-business group of legislators. These are the folks that work so closely with us, are open to hear what business concerns are, and look to us to provide them guidance as they deal with the myriad of issues that are facing them every legislative session. And I think that we owe them a grand thank you for the support that they have shown to the business community. There's only a few minutes that's standing between you and the cocktail hour that has been sponsored by the Navajo Transitional Energy Company. Some of you have recognized that there was one name that we didn't call up here that was an obvious omission. And that obvious omission is that we have one legislator that is here that we have deemed our most valuable policymaker. This is an individual that worked with us on a number of bills, carried an unprecedented number of bills for us, helped explain some of the intricacies of some of the more complicated pieces of legislation we were trying to move, counseled us on times when we may have wanted to go too far, warning us about what the implications of judicial decisions might be if we went too far, and ultimately helped us shepherd all 9 of our bills through the legislative process. And so we can't thank Steve Fitzpatrick enough for all the support that he has given to the Montana business community and the guidance and the counsel and his leadership working with the Montana Chamber of Commerce on behalf of the business community. And I'll give you the mic if you want to say a few words. You sure you don't want to say something?
Sure, I'll say something. Well, thank you. It's an honor to get this award. It's serving in the legislature has always been a passion of mine. I think many of you know I grew up here in Helena. My dad was a lobbyist for many years, and something I always wanted to do. And to be able to come to the legislature and really work on good pro-business policy is something that I've always enjoyed, and it's been really a pleasure to work with the chamber. They have, like I said, we've had a lot of talks about how bills work and what's going to pass, what's not going to pass, what could have problem in the courts, and they've been really responsive and receptive to that. So it's been a pleasure working with you guys, and appreciate it. And thank you very much for this award. Thank you.
I think that's it. So we are officially adjourned this evening. We start again tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. You don't want to miss that, because that's going to be our Eggs and Issues, where we have legislators from both the Democratic and the Republican Party that are going to be here talking about what they see over the course of the next year and some of the things that they're looking at in 2024. As we head next door for our reception, thanking and appreciating the lawmakers of the state of Montana, make sure you take a minute and thank our friends at the Navajo Transitional Energy Company for their support and their sponsorship tonight of the reception. So with that, let's go have a cocktail and an hors d'oeuvre. Thank you for joining us.